Number one mistake that players make on the B set of Corrode. When you end up on the site, you don't fight for additional space. Like, B set of Corrode is a very f***ed site for a retake. If you do one thing, and that one thing is taking the CT and elbow control. Teams that control CT, elbow, and site, plus you have some kind of a sentinel utility for your back here, such as Vi's wall, for the information, win 80% more post plants than the teams that don't take the elbow and CT. Like, then you kind of just narrow the enemies to come through this small choke point. We can just keep them there with one smoke, with utility. We can fight up perfect reflex setups. We can also fight from tower as well. And the post plants are like 10 times easier. Now let's see what our friend is going to do and how this is going to look like. Today at our coaching table, we have Bleach, Ascendant, Omen main, playing on Corrode. So we're playing Corrode on the attacker's side. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, we want to persuade our teammates to play together as 5 and to do 5-man executes and strategies together. Now, on the Corrode on the attacker's side, your number 1 priority and default bomb site is B site, number 2 priority A site, number 3 priority mid. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, we primarily want to test the enemies on B and A before we even decide to touch the mid area of the map. You know, try different variations of 5-man executes and fakes and see how the enemies are gonna respond to that. Because if the enemies don't have an answer to your 5-man executes and also their retakes are kind of shit, there's nothing they can do and we can just keep abusing default executes to win that specific match. If your executes are not working on Corrode, like same as on Split, we instantly need to get into some kind of a default mode where we need to fight for the mid area of the map and maybe do some kind of a splits onto the A site and B site. One problem of your team comp is that you don't have a real dive duelist. Like, I mean, Yoru is a dive duelist, but, you know, he doesn't have a dash, he doesn't have satchels, and he needs a preparation moment of time. During this match, you will have to act as a proxy duelist in almost every single round. When it comes to the enemy team, they have a pretty, you know, standard ranked team composition for Corrode. Like, literally, you know, they're not really lacking anything, or they don't have something that we can specifically abuse on a defender side. We just need to figure out where the Cypher is playing, what type of setups he has, and what should we do about it. Probably the best idea that you can do is that in the first 3 rounds, you do a 5-man push onto A site. And then in a 4th round, we can maybe do some kind of a fake once we apply enormous amount of mental pressure onto the enemies on A site. Once we notice that enemies are rotating a bit faster and they realize that we are just pushing together as 5. In this first round, we can go on the B site as well, no problem. And probably on the B site, like, there's gonna be only one agent playing that part of the map at this moment of time. And that agent is probably gonna be the Cypher. But the problem right now is that you have a team composition that is pretty static, and if you and Yoru don't do a good job, you know, with your executes, the things can go really rough in this first round. Let's say we want to do a 5-man execute in this first round. How do we do it? We start the round as close as possible to the wall here. We jump spot the enemies here, clear this angle. We are deploying our first smoke. Your first smoke goes here, and second smoke you're placing as a one-way for the backside and also covering the B tower. Now this one-way you can place in 2 different ways. You can place it high, where it is a true one-way for the backside and tower, but we can also place it a bit lower, which allows you to teleport both up and down to take the space for your teammates, apply the pressure onto the enemies, and potentially just demolish the enemies on the bomb site. For the first round, I would go with a higher smoke, and your only job in this round is just doing this, essentially. After you end up on this position, and you still have a second shrouded step, and you have no idea where are the enemies, one thing that you should do is you should do a fake shrouded steps to scout for the enemies, apply additional pressure onto them, and then take a fight together with those enemies as they are being disoriented and being pressured by your allies. So essentially, we should do something like this. This, and then this. And then, based on the minimap and based on what you saw on your screen, you decide which fight you want to take and where.
My bad.
Listen, in the first round, you should always do a fast 5-man execute and fast 5-man push if we already decide to go B or A. Reason is very simple. I have absolutely no idea what are the enemies gonna do here and here. What if enemy Valley in this round maybe use the reflect to clear the whole A main area of the map? What if the enemies took the whole mid area of the map? If they take this map control from you in this first 15 seconds, you won't know about it. And, you know, enemies can go for a fast pinch, fast flank, fast lurk, make a sandwich out of you, and they can just... Right, at this moment of time, we might be fighting, like, even 2 enemies on B side, or even 3, I don't know. God knows what enemies did on mid and A.
And flash in.
Now listen, the smoke setup that he did right now is a default smoke setup. This type of a smoke setup, you know, first the smoke for tower, it should look like this. Then the smoke for the, you know, B-link, it should go right there. This type of a smoke setup you do in the full buy rounds. In the rounds where you don't need to play aggressively. But the problem here is, like, you're playing the first round. In the first round with Omen, you should always have some kind of a semi-aggressive setup where you are the one leading the charge. You are the one applying the pressure onto the enemies. Because if you don't do that in the first round, only God knows what's gonna happen here. If you already decide to go for a default setup, the best thing that you can do with Omen is probably just teleporting deep here. But even this teleport is a bit too risky. You know, like you're overexposed from the elbow when you don't have a paranoia. What I would probably do here, I would use the first shrouded step as a fake to just scout for the enemies and see what the f is waiting for me on the B site. And then when the Yoru moves in and we get some info and some utility on the site, then we can teleport into this corner, we can teleport down here, we can teleport here, for an example. But just doing a blind teleport in the middle of nowhere, wide open from all, you know, from these 2 angles. I don't know how we survived this, to be honest, like. Like that fade eye saved you here, to be honest.
Elbow. Backside. Face back.
Pretty good from you here at the end. But as I already mentioned, like, what you did right now is just not enough pressure to win this first round. Literally, the only reason why we lost this round is because we played so slow. There's 4 enemies on the B side right now. And why is there 4 enemies on the B side right now? You played on contact in the first round. You have no idea what is happening in A main and in the mid area of the map. You cannot play the first round this low. Now listen, like, if you already decide to go onto the B side in a first round, go B again in a second round. No matter what happens in the first round. It's far more unpredictable. We already know how the enemies played the first round and from which positions and who played on the B side. So I don't see a problem doing that at all.
Pretty far, yep.
Okay, listen, there's really nothing better we could have done here. But now is your time to shine. You have a shorty. You know that one enemy is in the smoke. In these eco rounds, you always act as a kamikaze. Like you're trying to pick any opportunity that is presented to you to trade yourself for 1, 2, 3 kills. Maybe pick up the gun from the enemies to clutch up this round. Now, just run it down. Jump into that smoke, try to get a kill. If you don't do it, no problem. If you do it, we're gonna have higher chances of winning this round. Like the worst thing that you could have done in this example is exactly what you did. You just got fully stun locked and you did nothing. You heard the Teho pushing this guy with the Spectre there. Go in, close the gap, delete him with 2 bullets, and even if you die, we damage the enemy's economy, we preserved our economy, we got back 200 credits, 66% of credits that we invested into a shorty, and that's it. Now, okay, you decided in this second round to go A. In the third round, let's go A again. Anyways, on Corrode, whenever enemies are playing some kind of a eco round, half buy round, bonus round on a defender side, just go A. And the setup that we can do is the following. We smoke the elbow, we smoke the short, paranoid the enemies behind the box here, and we're just fighting for the A short space planting the spike here and waiting for the enemies. We're not allowing the enemies to kill us with shotguns, with the close range weapons. It's pretty easy pulling off this in ranked solo queue. As long as, you know, your teammates don't get a idea to go through the smoke into the elbow. Tell one of your teammates to hold the push through this smoke, while 4 of you guys are working up the A short area of the map. The worst thing we can do right now is do some kind of a mid push or A split, B split, or even going B is a bit of a suicide, considering, you know, what type of pattern we developed right now.
Flash going here.
One was man.
Running away.
Ooh.
Time to jump.
They smoke bot mid.
Spawning. Flash.
Barrier deployed.
Like, there's so many problems with this, like, so many problems. Enemies have stingers, specters, close range weapons. Like, this type of a smoke here, you only do in rounds where both you and the enemies are full buy, and you just want to go through the elbow onto the A site. Like, first you do this smoke, then once you take the elbow, you do this smoke. That type of a setup you do, like, mostly like when you are maybe playing some kind of an eco halberd bonus round and pushing A, when both you and the enemies are full buy, and you just want to fight through the elbow, which is okay, it can work, absolutely. But in a round where the enemies are eco, halba and bonus, this type of an execute is mega dangerous. The enemies can play with the shotguns, like, on so many different positions, with the stinger, specters. You allow the enemies from the short to rotate, get onto this position, like... In this round, if my teammates just want to go through the elbow, I will still do this smoke. And I will still take the A short area of the map for them, while they're taking the elbow. But just keep in mind, generally during your executes onto the A set of Corrode, elbow control is very important, and you should be fighting for it. Just in a round where the enemies are eco, halba, bonus, like they have shit weapons, it is not a necessity, and it can backfire. Okay. Like, this is what I was talking about. Like, we're literally allowing the enemies to rotate from A short into the site quickly. We're closing the gap with the enemies. I mean, yes, even in this left side of A site, you're not fighting enemies in a long range fight or a medium range fight. But it is just, you know, easier to just, you know, one guy holds the smoke here, while 4 players are playing a perfect refray game, getting on this position, planting the spike. One guy is holding this, 2 guys are holding this, and that's it. And then once you plant the spike, we can take maybe the elbow control, or maybe we can just take the short control a bit more aggressively, and just play a post plan from short main, and that's it.
One more on site.
Down A.
Good teleport here. I just don't know where is this paranoia going, because Reyna is quite literally on the left side.
Carrier is dead.
There's VP.
Good. Listen, if you're already planting the spike for the A short, plant it all the way here. Like, basically, on this edge. The thing is, like, when you plant the spike like this, you know, it's fully visible. Enemies cannot hide around any corner, any angle on the site. What you need to do, to go all the way here. Even from this position, you see how much the spike is being diffused, and if it is being diffused, it's easier to play a post plant.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
Good double up here with a deadlock. Very good decision making. Very good team play. This is what we were teaching you in the previous months. Very good.
Oh, shit.
Both done. On site. You're good, 2v1.
No sensors.
Once again, the problem of this is like, if the Teho has a Spectre or Stinger, a variety of can happen. When you're in a 2v1 against only one enemy, you can play a double tower setup, improvised double tower setup. Like, you hold like this, your teammate holds like this behind you, and we hold this, the peak of that guy. But in this one, there's no reason to do that. Spike is planted there, we see it from the short, we know that Teho is on the bomb site. All we need to do is this, while Deadlock is doing this.
Last player standing.
Also, you know, this was the problem as well. Because you were fully locked onto this angle. We cannot play with the deadlock as well. Like, deadlock should have been holding this. You should have been holding this. If an enemy is there, bam. If an enemy is here, you can hide, reset yourself. Deadlock, Tejo is on the spike. Deadlock comes, we swing together, Deadlock is dead.
Last player standing.
This was a terrible, terrible post-plan setup from your side. Overall, this attacker side went much better. How I thought it's gonna be. At least we started with 0-4, but we started with 0-4 because of 3 stupid mistakes that we made. It was not only your mistake, it was also the mistake from your teammates. Don't get me wrong, but all of these mistakes that we made in the first 4 rounds were quite easy to correct, and maybe we could have finished this half like 7-5 or 8-4 instead of 5-7. But Corrode, as much as it is easy to play on the attacker side, like, it is pretty much the defender side of the map. First thing that we ask ourselves is, how should we play this map on a defender side, and what should we do? So your default site, number 1 priority, B site. Number 2 priority, A site. Corrode is a fast rotation map, and essentially, you don't give a about defending B site and A site. What does that mean? Same as on Split, for an example. You're not willing to die trying to defend these bomb sets alone, 1 versus 5. Like, you're trying to get a potential pick by abusing off angles, utility, strategies, tactics, tight angles, but you're never willing to commit yourself into a 50-50 fight in a first round and in every single full buy round. On this map, what you truly value is the mid control. And whenever your teammates are getting on mid, you always prioritize A short and the general mid control over the B site and A site. Another reason why mid control is so important on this map is because of rotations. As long as we have mid control, we can rotate like this. Without the mid control, God help you doing these rotations through the spawn.
My blind is dead.
I would not start the round like this. If you're starting A main, like, and you want to play classic shorty here, start the round by revealing the enemies. You know, like, basically just start the round by jump spotting the enemies here, getting the info. Aha, enemies are not there. Rotate immediately. Let's see if the enemies are mid. Let's try to jump spot them here, and let's just rotate towards the B side. From this position, we can use a safe smoke to support our teammates on B, and just rotate.
Be heavy.
Please place your crosshair at your anal cavity at every single moment of time. Your crosshair should be on the most probable angle from which enemies can kill you at that moment of time. And right now, that is behind you.
Ow, too stuck. Why not? Stuck.
Chubby.
I don't know why you play so passively here. You're playing Omen. You have 3 teammates on the bomb site right now. Enemies are scaling up. It is totally fine if you use this one teleport to connect with your teammates immediately and play with them. Like, this should be on your autopilot mode. You get mollied, you get cut off from your teammates, they're fighting the enemies. If you can TP safe towards them and play with them, always do it. Like, that is why the Valorant gods gave you this teleport. And that's why you're playing Omen instead of Cypher, for an example. Then here, on the minimap, like, while you were doing nothing, what do? We look at the minimap. Aha. Vele is dead on the site. Tejo is moving in, and 2 enemies also moved inside of this position right here. So 3 enemies are here right now. When I end up at the backside, I want to immediately take the fight on the left portion of the site together with my deadlock. Because there's 3 enemies there, and I need to support her and help her out. She died. I still need to take that fight with these 2 enemies with my Fade that is behind me. We have a perfect triple crossfire setup here. Let's pinch them, let's fight them together, and that's it.
Ow, too stuck.
I don't know why you're holding this angle here. You should be swinging out, taking this fight with a Vise, Fade, and Yoru.
Stuck.
Chubby.
105.
Is that a guy down there?
Ow, too stuck. Why not? Stuck.
Chubby.
What is this, bro?
105 right now.
1 enemy remaining.
He's mid.
20. No, like,
The wall is not holding him.
Same during every single post plant. Clove doesn't have a spike. Clove needs to plant the spike. All we need to do right now is just fight together. and figure out how we can pick this cloth together with our Yoru and close out this round. Nothing else matters.
Nice.
This was pretty fucking dangerous. And this cannot happen to you at the Ascendant and low Immortal level. Like, this is one of the things that is gonna decide how fast you're gonna progress from Ascendant 1 to Immortal 3. Like, how you're playing these scenarios that we discussed during this VOD review.
Yeah, nice.
Cover going up.
Smoke. But we have the Outlaw with 47 HP. Why would you do this to yourself? Why are you forcing yourself in an anti-eco round in a close range fight if you already have an Outlaw? Like, this can go
Okay.
0 on that.
terribly wrong, to be honest. Sorry, the gameplay is lagging a bit for some reason. This was such a misplay, considering like what type of weapon you have and considering the enemy's economy. You're in a huge advantage. Like, all you need to do is hit 2 body shots onto 2 enemies. And the round is over. No smokes, no nothing. I will not place a single smoke before I kill at least 1 enemy. And then I can maybe use some smokes to, you know, repel the enemies back, like try to go for some outplay and the enemies. These are the moments of time where you want to force a 50-50 fight. Because it's not 50-50. You have the Outlaw, enemies don't have a shield. Enemies need to clear the angles. Enemies are in a disadvantage. They have no idea where you are at that moment of time. They're the ones that are under the pressure. And plus you have plenty of utility to work with. Valorant.gg/Sigma cock. That's what the enemies wrote right now.
Fucking mid. Jumping.
Oh, what the fuck?
This is a very good positioning, man. This is a very good positioning. How you position behind the smokes completely depends which angle you think enemies are gonna clear first, or which angle enemies need to clear first. Here, like, if the enemies are coming out of this smoke, it is so logical that at least 1 enemy is gonna be fully focused on the left side. Maybe the whole enemy team is just gonna focus on clearing this position on the left. Very good off angle. Chances that enemies spray you through this smoke very low. Good positioning. We can probably get away with 2 kills, unless the Cypher ultimate f***s us up.
I know exactly where you are.
Which it will.
78. Yeah.
But I don't know what you waited for on this position. You got revealed by the Cypher. You delay the enemies a bit. Get back on the site.
Smoke, smoke.
Good 2 kills, but probably not gonna be enough. Okay, now the main problem in this round is gonna be the THIS ultimate, but also that is the solution for this round. Someone's problem is your solution. Why? You see that enemies have these big ass mother effing ultimates. Chances that enemies are gonna go B with this ultimate, 80% minimum. Right now, we should either be fighting for the B main control, we should be trying to outplay the enemies on B site, B main, or outplaying the enemies on the site.
Cover going out.
Drown.
There is a drone B. Right now, we could have gotten 1 kill, maybe 2 kills. Maybe kill all of the enemies through the wall with the Odin. Odin on this map is just mega broken. Now here, we do this then. We paranoid the enemies that peek close, then blah, 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 blah. Kill those enemies, then one-way smoke. Then this angle, like, is fucking insanity. Like, nobody is gonna be ready for this. All you need to do is look at the minimap and make sure that, you know, you're looking in the right direction, like here and here. And then you can just look at the minimap to see, like, where are the enemies exactly if your teammates are revealing them. This is fully spammable, like, you know. Then, like, this whole mid area of the map is spammable. Enemies love to go through mid, no problem. Start the round by placing this smoke, dropping down here, and instant spam.
Go ahead.
Like, this is just one of these easiest reads of all time in ranked solo queue that you need to be aware of.
Stand your ground.
It's 1. They're jumping everything.
Oh my god. 1
Let it
2.
have it.
They're out. They're out.
Annihilated.
You all.
We have your wall.
We'll catch
Tiny
them.
B.
Wait, let me go.
I have an
Wait
arm.
for your
heaven.
Okay, this is pretty good as well. We ended up in a 4v3.
Wait for your wall.
Spike planted.
What's gonna decide the outcome of this round is how we use the paranoia and your ultimate. Like, he needs to come a bit closer to the site. So he can flash for Yoru and we can scale out.
Lagging. We're pushing up.
Like right now, instead of him being here, in this position, he should be close to Fade. Just fuck it, you know. Enemies don't have any... I mean, they have a utility they can f up, but we need to be here, or here. And then when Yoru is revealing the enemies, we're ready to scale up, like just... drop a paranoia like this. Drop a paranoia like this. Clear the left angle, right angle. Pinch the enemies with the Yoru ultimate, the round is ours.
Pushing up. Behind the box. Behind the box.
Yo, Melody! Yo, Brent Bob! Welcome, boys! Nice kill, though. Okay. Okay. We lost this match, mainly on the attacker side. Like, how we played the first 4 rounds was horrible. And also how we executed some of the rounds, like... in some of the rounds on the attacker side was also horrible. Macro and micro play on the attack needs to be fixed, and you need to apply the tips and rules that we shared on the attacker side. On a defender side, in some of the rounds where it was kinda easy to read the enemies and tell where they're gonna go, we could have maybe won those rounds as well. In that second anti-eco round, like, you know, you made a huge mistake where you have the outlaw, 45 HP, and you're closing the gap with the enemies and playing a ghost. What the fuck? Yo, tricksters, Papito here. Did you know that you can get free coaching? Yes, you heard that right. Every week on our Discord, I make giveaways as a thank you for letting me pursue my dream. Also, through Discord subscriptions, you can unlock tons of other coaching content, such as the Radiant Ranked Playbook with guaranteed monthly VOD and tracker reviews. Once we reach 1000 subscribers, I'll be moving to NA for 2 months to play on your server and to make even more content. And by the way, if you enjoyed the videos, I stream every day doing coaching and playing ranked, so make sure to show up live. Thank you for the support and keep on grinding, baby!